If I thought that my response were given to one who would never return to the world, this flame, I would move no more. But since never from this depth has man returned to life, if what I hear is true, without the fear of infamy I answer thee. Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky, like a patient etherized upon a table. Let us go through half-certain deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights in one-night cheap hotels, in sawdust restaurants with oyster shells, streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent, to lead you to an overwhelming question. Oh, do not ask, what is it? Let us go and make our visit. In the room the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. The yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, licked its tongue into the corners of the evening, lingered upon the pool that stands and drains, let fall upon its back the soot from walls, chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seeing it was a soft October night, curled once again about the house and fell asleep. And indeed there will be a time, for the yellow smoke that slides along the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes, there will be a time, to prepare a face to meet the faces that you meet. There will be a time to murder and create, and a time for all works and days of hands that lift and drop a question on your plate. Time for you and time for me, and time yet for 100 indecisions, and time for 100 visions and revisions before the taking of toast and tea. In the room women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. And indeed there will be a time to wonder, do I dare? And do I dare? Time will turn back and descend the stair, and a bald spot in the middle of my hair. They will say, how his hair is growing thin. My morning coat, my collar mounting firmly to the chin, my necktie rich and modest but asserted by a simple pin. They will say, but how his arms and legs are thin. Do I dare disturb the universe? And a minute there is time for decisions and revisions which a minute will reverse. For I have known them all already. I have known them all. Have known evenings, mornings, and afternoons. I have measured my life out with coffee spoons. I know the voices are dying with a dying fall. Beneath the music from a farther room, how should I presume? And I have known the eyes already, known them all, the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase, when I am formulated sprawling on a pin, when I am pinned and wriggling to the wall. Then how should I begin to spit out all the butt ends of my days and ways, and how should I presume? And I have known the arms already, known them all, arms that are braceleted and white and bare by the lamplight, downed with light brown hair. Is it perfume from a dress that makes me so digress? Arms that lie along a table or on a wrap or about a shawl. And should I then presume? And how should I begin? Shall I say, when I've gone at dusk through the narrow streets, and watched the smoke that rises from the pipes of lonely men in shirt-sleeves leaning out of windows, I should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across the floor of silent seas. And the afternoon, the evening, sleeps so peacefully, soothed by long fingers, asleep, tired, or it malingers. Stretched upon the floor, here beside you and me, should I, after tea and cakes and ice, have the strength to force the moment to its crisis? But though I have wept and fasted, wept and prayed, though I've seen my head grown slightly bald, brought in upon a platter, I am no prophet, here's no great matter. I have seen the moment of my greatness flicker. I have seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker. And in short, I was afraid. And would it have been worth it after all, after the cups, the tea, the marmalade, among the porcelain, among some talk of you and me, would it have been worth while to have bitten off the matter with a smile, to squeeze the universe into a ball, to roll it toward some overwhelming question, to say I am Lazarus, come from the dead, come to tell you all, and I shall tell you, if one, settling a pillow by your head, should say, that's not what I meant at all, that's not it at all. And would it have been worth it after all? Would it have been worthwhile? After the sunsets in the dooryards and the sprinkled streets, after the novels, after the teacups, after the skirts that trail along the floor, after this, and so much more. It is impossible to say just what I mean, as if a magic lantern threw the nerves in patterns on a screen. Would it have been worthwhile if one, settling on a pillow or throwing off a shawl, turning toward the window, should say, "That's not what I meant. It is not what I meant at all." No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was I meant to be. I am an attendant lord, one that will do, to swell progress, to start a scene or two, advise the prince, no doubt, an easy tool, deferential, glad to be of use, politic, cautious and meticulous, full of high sentence, but a bit obtuse, at times, indeed, almost ridiculous, almost at times the fool. I grow old, I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. Shall I part my hair from behind? Do I dare eat a peach? I shall wear white flannel trousers and walk upon the beach. I have heard the mermaids singing each to each. I do not think they will sing to me. I have seen them riding seaward on the waves, combing white hair the waves blown back, when the wind blows and the water white and black. We have lingered in the chambers of the sea, by the seagulls reed by us, by seagulls reed with red and brown, till human voices wake us and we drown. Wow, it's doing really well until the last part.